Hello, my beautiful buds. Welcome back to my channel, Sprouts with Joy. My name is Joy, and if you like to talk about plants, you're in the right place. So this month I did get a few more plants than I was expecting, which, I mean, whether or not that's a bad thing is debatable. Although I am really pleased with all the plants that I recently added to my collection, and I just wanted to do kind of a collective plant haul and show you all the things that I've gotten. Some of them were Christmas presents and just very pleasant surprises from my mother-in-law and my husband, and others were just fun opportunities that kind of fell into my lap, and I was like, oh well, why not? So without further ado, we can just jump right in, I guess. Oh, actually, before we jump right in, have you noticed maybe anything different? Maybe? I mean, if you haven't noticed, or if you're new to my channel, the quality is much, much better. My husband is an incredible gift giver, and he hunted down a really good camera and lens and mic secondhand, and he got really good deals on them. And he has a friend who is a photographer, so he helped him out with finding a really good camera. So, ta-da! I'm over the moon excited about this, not only to use it for YouTube, but also for my job, which is graphic design. It'll be really nice to be able to take my own photographs, so yes. Anyways, let's jump in now. So this first plant is the Philodendron Spa Fuzzy Petiole. Now, if I understand correctly, this is technically an undescribed species. It was mistaken for, you know, maybe one or two other plants, or like mislabeled on an import from Ecuador, I believe, just based on my surface level research on the thing. But it's technically not described. It technically doesn't have a name, but everyone is just calling it Fuzzy Petiole because, let's see if I can get it to focus because I'm brand new to this camera. I don't know how well you can see that, but it has a fuzzy petiole, and these leaves are absolutely gorgeous. This came up on Facebook Marketplace. It was like a local sale, and I just hopped on it because honestly, I'm a huge fan of any plants that have unique petioles, be it, you know, they're fuzzy or bumpy or have a unique color. So of course I love Philodendron Florida Ghosts and Squamiferums and Philodendron Serpens. All of those like are right up my alley. So this is just another awesome plant. Now, admittedly, I am a little bit concerned. In the last few weeks that I've had this guy, I feel like he's been declining. So, of course, there's always the risk of inheriting a plant that already has root rot, because root rot can take many days or even like a week or so to really set in. It had one older leaf that yellowed off, and it looked strange to me in the way that it yellowed off, so that just made me worried. And this leaf was already kind of like, the new leaf already had been kind of decapitated by, you know, maybe traveling, mechanical damage, stuff like that. But I don't know, I could be crazy or paranoid, but I feel like it's just a lot more limp than it used to be. So I'll keep you guys updated. I really don't want this guy to die. So wish me luck, pray for me, whatever you want to do. But honestly, I think that it's beautiful. Obviously it has a little tear here too. So it's not an absolutely perfect specimen by any means. I have been really careful with it so far because I do really want it to succeed, so I've put it in like the best spot in my home. But I don't know, maybe I'm just paranoid, but we'll see how he does. And if he doesn't do well, I mean, I suppose I could always just try to propagate him from a wet stick, but let's just pray that doesn't happen, because please just stay beautiful for me. Survive. All right, the next plant I got is this Tradescantia chrysophylla. I believe, or Tradescantia baby bunny bellies, which it is aptly named. When I first saw it, I wasn't incredibly attracted to it because it did just look like a normal Tradescantia, but like green. So, you know, I was like, oh, whatever. But then I saw the name from afar. So I approached it and I stroked it. And oh my word, I don't know if you can really see how fuzzy it is, but this has to be one of the softest plants I have ever felt in my entire life, because wow. I mean, here I am just showing you and I'm like, you can't even feel it, but it is aptly named. If you have ever stroked the underside of a baby bunny, that sounded really strange. If you've ever pet a bunny in your life, if your fingers have had the pleasure of tickling even like the ear of a bunny, just that soft fur. That is the same feeling. As soon as I felt it, I had to have it, especially considering it was only like maybe $8 for this entire basket. So yeah, I got it. Now, I do have kind of mixed feelings in a love-hate relationship with Tradescantia because, you know, when you get them, they are this full and beautiful, but once they leave the greenhouse settings, it is a little bit challenging to keep them looking that full and beautiful, at least in my experience. And maybe I'm just not giving them the right care. A lot of people say that they're super easy, but a lot of other people seem to struggle with them, you know, losing leaves and just getting kind of more bald over time, which is fine. And they do tend to grow back, I've noticed, but it's either their growth pattern or they're kind of finicky when it comes to like inconsistent watering or making sure you get good lighting for them. So I'm going to try my utmost to maintain this full bushy appearance, although I'm not really counting on it because in my experience, it's really challenging actually to maintain that look with a Tradescantia. So we'll have to see how it goes, but again, pray for me. I want to succeed with these plants. So yeah, I'll do my best. Now, this next plant is a plant that I do already own, and I tend to try to avoid buying plants that I already own, but sometimes you just find a single specimen of a plant and you just cannot resist. And that was the case with this plant. Now, I have featured it already on my channel, but since I got it this month, I figured I would show it again, and it's this gorgeous Philodendron Brazil. Excuse me. So this is a very mature looking Philodendron Brazil. It's got very big, beautiful leaves. It's trailing already. The variegation is stunning. It's got peachy stems and petioles, which I absolutely love. And I've been told that that means that they've been exposed to a lot of light, like they get sun stressed and turn into these beautiful, beautiful colors, which I absolutely love. So I am hoping to maintain that look with this guy. I still have my other Philodendron Brazil, of course, but he's much smaller, less mature, has not been exposed to nearly as much light, so he doesn't have that same coloring. But yeah, he was a very affordable plant. He was cheaper than my old Philodendron Brazil even was, actually, believe it or not, even though he is more beautiful. Sorry. But he is. Philodendron Brazil deserves to get a lot of love. Like, I'm convinced that Philodendron Brazil is probably one of the prettiest plants that you can get for a very affordable price, because this guy was under $10 and I got him just like this. Like, I do not take credit for any of this beauty right here, so yeah. There are some dogs barking, so if you hear that, sorry. I don't know what they're freaking out about. I don't even own dogs, they're just neighborhood dogs, so. Okay, this next plant I'm quite excited about, and it is this Alocasia Black Velvet. Ooh, she is a beauty. Now, this is actually the first alocasia that I have ever owned. So if you've got care tips, please drop them down in the comments. Please feel free to drop them down in the comments below. Like if you are a massive alocasia fan and you are all over them, know everything about them, I mean, I would love to hear your insight because I want to do well by this plant. So I will say, I think I'm generally not a huge fan of alocasia. I've never been super attracted to them. And on top of the fact that they tend to be like spider mite and maybe even thrips magnets, I've always been a little bit hesitant to get into them. But of all the alocasia out there, I think that I'm most attracted to the alocasia black velvet because wow, look at these leaves. Excuse me, they're beautiful. And the backs of the leaves are also beautiful. And this gal in particular has a new leaf coming in, and I'm super excited about the fact that it has so many leaves to begin with, because a lot of the alocasia that I've seen on the internet tend to only have a few leaves. So I think this is an absolute stunner and I'm very excited. Now, I will say there's definitely some sort of damage on her. She was like that when I got it just a couple weeks ago. So I'm a little bit anxious about that. Maybe anxious isn't the right word. I'm watchful because I did also notice some spider mites on her pretty much immediately. I didn't see them at the nursery, but maybe they just weren't that visible yet or I wasn't paying close enough attention, but I noticed them just a couple of days after bringing them home, and maybe it's because she was under stress from acclimating to my environment or what. I don't think there are any spider mites on any of my other plants because I've been very vigilant this season to check all of the undersides constantly, wash them off, spray them down. I'm very, very careful about that since I had a little teensy outbreak of spider mites back in the fall, which tends to happen with the transition of seasons. But so I'm keeping her far away from other plants. I've been treating her ever since I got her, and she seems okay, but I am keeping a watchful eye on that. But other than that, I'm very excited to own this plant. Okay, my camera battery is about to die, so I'm going to try to go through this next and last plant very, very quickly. It's the Tenanthe burle-marxii. I think the fishbone prayer plant is another common name for it, but wow, she's a stunner. I absolutely love her. My mother-in-law got her for me for Christmas, and this completes, in a sense, my prayer plant collection. I have several of the other kinds like Calathea ergopertia and Maranta and Stramanthe, but I had yet to own any Tenanthes, and I've heard that they're actually probably the least fussy of all prayer plants. So, I mean, sign me up. I love prayer plants a lot, and the less fussy they are, the better. I mean, I'm definitely kind of a helicopter parent when it comes to my plants, so I kind of enjoy the fact that they need so much care and love and attention because, I don't know, I find it very fun to be all up in my plants business. But since I'm owning a lot more plants lately, I appreciate a plant that needs a little bit less and is still a prayer plant because I love the up and down motion of prayer plants. I love how beautiful they are. I love their different colored, their darker colored backs to the leaves. I love their striking markings and the feel. Just, they make me very, very happy. So I'm excited to own this Tenanthe, and I hope that I can get some more Tenanthe in the future. Definitely a big, big fan of this kind of plant. So yeah, I'm very excited. Well, that is going to be all for this video. I better get out of here before my camera dies, but if you liked this video, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe maybe. I mean, that means a lot to me. It is a huge help to me. So I hope if you guys celebrate Christmas or any holidays, I hope that you had a wonderful, wonderful holiday season. I hope that you were able to spend time with your friends and family. And if not, I hope that you were still able to enjoy your time. So anyways, I hope that you have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye-bye!